Now they're coming on. There's a Arneson boat, Popeyes, Pepsi Challenger, and there's your start. Just like that, the Popeyes Pepsi Challenger makes a super move on the rest of the fleet. Just blowing right out in front like he did at Saugatuck. Second place, the Arneson Special, and third place, Betty Cook in the awesome Kama Cat. All right, running second place, Betty Cook in the Kama, number 89 in her home waters, right off Newport Beach, California. Little lady was the race chairman, and from the comments we've seen or heard from the other competitors and from the look of the pits, she's put on a very professional and well-run race. Certainly a credit to COPBRA and the West Coast racing folks in general. Right now, the Kama Cat with those Kama drives, and as Betty told us, two different engines, is running a very strong, and I might add, very loud second place. We have quite a traffic jam of helicopters out here. We seem a little bit broken up in our commentary. It's because we're taking evasive action. It would appear we have a lot of people in helicopters that have never been on an offshore boat race before, but they seem to be calming down now. Back to Betty Cook. You can see on the side of that boat, world champion 77-79, APBA US 1 and 80, the Kama of Betty Cook. And a surprising second place behind the Popeyes Pepsi Challenger. Doing very, very well. John Connors, of course, a master on the throttles. These people raced a long time, and they'll not make any elementary errors today. If they have a problem, it'll be mechanical. It will not be in that cockpit. There's plenty of talent in there, plenty of staying power, plenty of stick-to-itiveness, and a gritty little lady behind the wheel. We talked to Betty earlier today. Let's see what she had to say. The dominant forces in offshore racing in the last 5 years has been Betty Cook and her Kama. She's had a string of bad luck now, I guess extending for about a year, but certainly she's been competitive when she's run well. Home in her home waters, what do you think about today's conditions?
Well, I don't think it's going to be too much like what we experienced most of the year. I don't think it's going to be that calm. These are not protected waters, and we always get ocean swells here, which are not particularly terrible to cope with, but you just have to be very wary. You hope that when you sail off the top of one, you land on the back of the next one.
You've been in a development mode now with the new drive for about a year, and it seems to be getting a little more consistent each race. What do you think of your chances today mechanically?
Well, interestingly enough, the last 4 races that we've run, we've not had drive problems, we've had motor problems. And we have 2 different kinds of motors in today, so who knows?
Floating test bed. Anything on the horizon in terms of a new boat?
No, absolutely not. All I can do to cope with the manufacture of the production version of this drive, and it takes the same people, and we just don't have the time. So if anything, I'll probably race even less next year.
That's a shame, really, because you've done so much for the sport. Certainly this race is a tribute to you. You are the race chairman as well as a participant today, and this is a magnificent site for a race, and the sport really needs sites like this. We suffered a little in New York, I think.
Yes, I think we did. I'm glad we've got racing back on the West Coast again, and I'm looking forward next year to having 2 races out here so that we can get more boats. It becomes a more important site. California traditionally has been a race site. We used to have 4 out here, I can remember. And I want to not get back to that perhaps, but certainly get back to having 2 excellent races, and I feel this one has been one of those.
Well, Betty, you're a proven winner, and certainly if you're standing behind 2 races and trying to get racing back on the West Coast, it'll come back first class. And I'd like to say on behalf of Needle Nose as well as a lot of the other racers that we're proud of you and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks so much. Very nice of you.
Thank you.